One thing to talk about before we get to Dmitri is we look at the big map, and this is an area to keep your eye on. The Ukrainians have not yet been able to stop the Russians as they try to pinch off this group of Ukrainian troops. It's some of the best Ukrainian troops, some of the best equipped. They have to stay there to keep this Russian force pinned down, but the Russians are trying to close off their escape route. So far, they have not been able to. We bring in Dmitri Alperovitch, co-founder of CrowdStrike, former special advisor to the Department of Defense, chairman of the Silverado Policy Accelerator. Dmitri, Vladimir Putin, nothing is going according to plan. Thousands of his soldiers are dead. They're looting for food. Does he view this as an opportunity to get out or requiring a double down?
Well, he's realized he's not going to change the government in Ukraine, which was his original goal. He understands that even if he manages to take Kiev, and I don't think he has the forces to do so, that he's not going to be able to keep the puppet regime in place without massive amount of force and without a huge counterinsurgency that's going to take place. So he's trying to figure out what is achievable. Can he get neutrality for Ukraine, i.e. no joining of NATO in the foreseeable future, maybe even permanently? Can he get some concessions on Crimea and Donbass? That's what he's going to go for now.
Antony Blinken speaking earlier today at the State Department, this was where he was talking about how he sees the war ending in America's priorities. Take a listen.
Diplomacy requires both sides engaging in good faith to de-escalate, and I don't see signs right now that Putin is prepared to stop.
He went on to say our first and foremost focus on doing everything we can to help bring this war to a quick end. What's the balance between bringing this war to an end and making sure Vladimir Putin never does this again?
Well, this is going to be the real challenge here, Leland, because if Zelenskyy does decide to compromise, and he's in a really tough position with Mariupol starving, with civilians getting hit with artillery and bombs from the air, he's going to try to figure out how he can stop this war. He knows he'll really realistically never join NATO. So a concession on that does not seem like that big of a deal at this point. And a concession on Crimea, he knows he's never taking that back either, is also achievable. So if he decides to compromise and the Russians insist on all the sanctions coming down as well, what will the U.S. do? Will it really agree to that and make sure that Vladimir Putin pays no price for this invasion and everything goes back to February 23rd, right before the war began? That is going to be the hard question for this White House.
There's a lot of hard questions for the White House. And Vladimir Putin appears, though, to be feeling a little bit of the pressure. You would know better than we would. Take a listen to him, what was yesterday on state TV.
Но любой народ, а тем более российский народ, всегда сможет отличить истинных патриотов от подонков и предателей и просто выплюнет их, как случайно залетевшую в рот мушку, выплюнет на панель.
That's not the words or statements of a cool, calm, and collected president leading his country.
No, he's all in on this adventure, Leland, and anyone that disagrees, anyone that says anything that is critical of this war is now a traitor. And you know what Russia does to traitors. They don't end well. It doesn't end well for them. So he's going to go very brutal on anyone that is going to go against him now.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.